Hey guys, Fire here from InDepth Gaming, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Ghoulboy. The game is developed by Sirkin Bakar, published by Dolores Entertainment, and releases on October 22nd, 2021 on Xbox and Xbox Series X and S. As far as the price, we don't quite yet know a price, so at the end of the video I'm going to give you my review, kind of based on what I hope to see the prices at. It is a platformer game, so I want to dive in just to some of the beginning levels here. As you can see, I've completed a good bit of the game. The levels kind of bounce around, so you can miss some, but the main premise of the game is you're this little Ghoulboy guy. You jump around, get some abilities, you can throw some items, change some weapons if you get them, and while you're playing, you can also do additional upgrades in the game. You can double jump like most platformers, and the game is pretty unforgiving when it comes to dying and getting hurt. You're going to end up, I don't know, probably having to replay and burn through your lives quite a bit. And early in the game, you only really get this sword, which doesn't really help you in the long run, as it's a pretty weak weapon, and you're going to have to really work on getting upgrades while you're playing throughout the game to really progress. Some of the enemies do get very varied, but for the most part, it's just get as close as you can to any enemy in the game, and then you're going to try to kill them as quick as you can. And you're going to get little upgrades along the way. As you can see though, I do have a little mace thing here, so I'm going to kind of be doing my own thing when it comes to upgrades and not really caring about what the game has to, really give for me. You do get throwables. I don't find throwables that useful in the game, and there's also hidden collectible rooms, which at the same time I don't find too useful as well. You're going to slowly collect a ton of gems. If you do find yourself getting stuck in areas, you can replay later levels and buy the upgrades in the shop. We'll go over the shop here after we run through a level or two, and I just keep talking a little more. For the most part, the game is pretty simplistic. You'll get about a couple minutes per stage, and then you will get bosses as you play the game every couple chapters. But nothing that's too, insane or overpowered. Some things just might take you a little more time than others when it comes to getting things done. Control wise, the game's controls are actually quite fluid and not hard to use. You navigate around with an analog stick, you use X and A to use your weapons and attacks, and you're pretty much just killing enemies and collecting your loot. There isn't really a set score system or anything you're going for. You're just ultimately trying to finish the levels, and that's really all the game has you going after. Is just beat the levels, get through the bosses, and rinse and repeat. As you play, you're going to encounter these little shops, as you can see here on screen, where you can buy resupplies of like your throwables and little weapons. But for the most part, you'll get to where you don't really need a lot of that stuff. But yeah, as far as visuals for the game though, I do like the visuals. I think the game is a nice little retro bit style-esque looking game that's done really well. I've really enjoyed it. As far as any like mechanical style things in the game, as you can see, you can push some blocks around and activate some switches and levers, but for the most part there's not too much going on in the game. It's pretty straightforward. Soundtrack wise, I do really enjoy the little background music. It kind of fits this Ghoulboy spooky-esque style game, and coming around at a time with like Halloween and stuff just around the corner, it's kind of a nice little spooky-esque kind of platformer game for us to play. Now let's actually, one other thing I do want to show is this ability to change things into like retro style views. So if you want to like you're on an old school tube TV and kind of just give you a different visual appearance while playing the game, it's a neat little touch, but it's more just aesthetics than anything. And then the other part I was talking about earlier was the shop. You can come in here and buy upgrades. You will need to buy all these upgrades at one point for an achievement, and you'll also end up having to save up to 5,000 coins. Those coins are 5,000 total, not cumulative, so you have to have 5,000 in that top tracker. It's not spend 1,000, get 4,000 more. No, that needs to hit 5,000. And achievement wise for the game's achievements are pretty straightforward. As you can see, I've got most of the achievements, just need a little bit left to do here on the time of this recording. But it's a pretty straightforward game, and I think it's a neat little platformer. Now, as for giving you our opinion of do I think it's worth buying, waiting for a sale, or passing on, I definitely say if this game comes in at $10 or less, it's definitely worth buying. It's a fun little platform. It's not a quick completion by any means. And, it's nice and enjoyable. If it's anything over $10, I'm going to say wait for a sale. And if it's, well beyond $10, you know, $20, $30, I'm going to say pass. But yeah, that's my overall opinion on Ghoulboy. I hope you guys did enjoy this review. If you have any questions for me, let me know down in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and we'll catch you next time.